So in today's video, we're actually going to look at a very common type of question that's asked, or I think I've seen it across the 2010 to 2017 question papers at least. Okay, and I'm sure it's been asked post that also. One of the very common type of questions that is asked under your housing chapter is that of the population density, right? Okay, so I'm going to take an example. Your GATE 2017 question paper has this particular question that says in 2011 the population of a town was 5 lakhs and the number of housing units were 1 lakh. Calculate the additional number of dwelling units required by 2031 so that there is no housing shortage. The assumptions are, and then they've given a list of the assumptions, right? So let's take it one by one. In 2011, the population of a town was 5 lakhs. The number of housing units. So let's split it into two. Let's talk about the population here and let's talk about the housing here. Okay, I'm just going to split this information that's given. So your population is 5 lakhs. Okay, in which year? In 2011. Okay, so 5 lakhs 2011. And the number of housing units. So 2011 में the number of housing units were 1 lakh. Okay, so the demand and the supply basically, but then you don't directly take in the population for your households. You have to divide it by the household size. So let's come down to that first. Calculate the additional number of dwelling units required by 2031, okay, which is what we are projecting for. Okay. So 2031, what will we have? There's no housing shortage, right? So what would we need? We need the population that's increasing, total number of units at that time, and what's the average household size? Okay. So your 5% decadal increase in population. So decadal basically means 10 years. So 2011 to 2031, we have 2 decades. So let's come one after another because it's a percentage also, right? So first let's look at 2021 in between. Okay, 5% additional in the population. Okay, so we're going to do some quick calculations of how much is 5% of 5 lakhs. Which is 25,000. Okay, so your population is added, you get 25,000 more in the first 10 years itself. Okay, so you have 5 lakh 25. Now what happens is for your 2031 population, you add 5% of 5 lakh 25,000. Okay, so this is where people go wrong. They take the decades directly and they multiply. So they multiply and get 10% of 5 lakhs and then they say, okay, 5 lakh 50,000. But that's not how it's done. 5 lakh 25,000's 5% would be 26250. Okay, which is what you should add for your 2031. So which basically is plus 26,250 is going to be 5 lakh 51,250. Okay, so now we know the total population that would be there in 2031. Now let's look at the household whatever information has been given. Now they're saying new DU to be completed by 2021. Okay, so in the between 2021 is an additional 10,000. So we have 1,10,000 units in total. The number of DU which will become non-habitable by 2031 is 5,000. So non-habitable basically means you have to subtract that amount. Okay, so you add this, you subtract this, right? So it comes down to 1,05,000. Okay, and the saying average household size is 4.5. So your population, okay, is going to be divided into households. So you divide it by the household size. So 5,51,250 divided by 4.5 comes down to 1,22,500. Okay, so what we would need is 1,22,500 units. Currently, we have 1,05,000 units, right? So you subtract 1,05,000 minus, you subtract it from 1,22,500. You automatically have your deficit. Okay, so 1,22,500 minus 1,05,000 is 0.05 lakhs. Okay, which is going to be 17.5 thousand. Okay, 17.5K or 17,500 units, which is the answer for this particular question. Okay. Your particular, so this is a numerical type of question. If you get it right, you get 2 marks. If you get it wrong, it's a 0 mark. But it's a very scoring section, and I will, if at all you want to know the other kinds of questions that come under the housing sector, or if you want more practice questions with respect to population density, then I would suggest you take a look at the GATE Architecture and Planning Preparation course that Safal Together is offering for your GATE 2026, and we'll discuss more on it. I'll meet you there.